Imagine a dark, smoky clubhouse in the middle of the night, filled with tough, tattooed men who have seen the worst the world has to offer. The air is thick with the smell of beer, leather, and cigarette smoke. Pool balls clack in the background, laughter rumbles low, and the jukebox plays a gritty rock song. These are the members of the Iron Brotherhood Motorcycle Club, ex-military, ex-cons, men with scars from battles both on foreign soil and in prison yards. They wear their patches proudly, their Harleys lined up outside like silent guardians. No one messes with them. This isn't a place for outsiders, especially not for children. But on this quiet night, the door creaks open, and in walks a small figure. A 9-year-old girl named Emma Rodriguez. She's tiny, with dark hair tied in a messy ponytail, wearing an old jacket that's too big for her, and sneakers that have seen better days. In her trembling hand, she clutches a crumpled $5 bill. The room falls dead silent. 15 bikers freeze mid-conversation. Beer bottles hover halfway to lips. Pool cues hang suspended in the air. Eyes turn toward her, a mix of confusion and concern. The chapter president, a massive man known as Hammer, 6'5", 280 pounds of pure muscle covered in tattoos and scars from his time in Fallujah, sets down his cards slowly. He stands, his heavy boots thudding on the wooden floor, and approaches her. Most adults would tremble at the sight of him, his scarred face and intimidating presence enough to send people running. But Emma doesn't flinch. She looks up at him with wide, desperate eyes, filled with a courage that belies her age. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Hammer asks, his voice surprisingly gentle, like thunder softened to a whisper. "Emma," she whispers back, her voice barely audible over the sudden quiet. "Emma Rodriguez." "Emma, where are your parents?" he probes carefully, kneeling a bit to be closer to her level. "My mom's at the hospital. She's dying." The words tumble out in a rush, her voice cracking with emotion. Tears well up in her eyes, but she fights them back. "The doctors say she needs special medicine, but we don't have insurance and it costs $50,000. My uncle said he'll pay for it, but only if I go live with him forever. Mom said no because he's a bad man. But if she dies, it'll be my fault. I heard you guys do things for money, so I have $5. Please help me save my mother's life." She holds out the crumpled bill with shaking hands. The bikers exchange glances, dark, knowing looks. They all recognize that fear in a child's eyes, the kind that speaks of something far worse than just words. The room feels heavier now, the air charged with unspoken anger. Hammer looks at the $5 bill, worn and folded from being saved, perhaps from lunch money or chores over weeks. Something tightens in his chest. A man who's seen war, violence, loss, but this hits different. A little girl offering her everything to strangers she thinks are mercenaries. At that moment, the weight of her bravery sinks in. This child walked into a notorious biker clubhouse alone at night, facing men who terrify grown adults, all for her mom. If you're feeling the emotion already, the courage of this little girl restoring your faith in humanity, hit that subscribe button on Road Motorcycle Diaries right now. We share real stories like this, tales of bikers, roads, and unexpected kindness that remind us the world still has heart. The bikers remain silent for a beat. Then Tank, the sergeant-at-arms, a huge man with arms like tree trunks, stands up slowly. "Where's this uncle now?" he asks, his voice low and gravelly. "Outside in his car," Emma says, her voice small. "He drove me here. He said bikers are criminals, and if I ask for help, you'll just take my money and laugh. But I don't care anymore. Mom is all I have." Wrench, another member, moves to the window and peers out. There, in the gravel parking lot under the dim lights, sits a black Mercedes with the engine running. The driver is on his phone, oblivious. "Confident," Wrench mutters under his breath. "Or stupid." Hammer kneels fully now, meeting Emma's eyes. "Your uncle drove you here to a biker bar in the middle of the night." She nods. "He said he wanted me to learn a lesson, that nobody helps for free, that the world is cruel, and I need to understand before I agree to live with him. The temperature in the room seems to drop. Every man there understands the real lesson this uncle is trying to teach. A predatory one, twisted and evil. What will these hardened bikers do next? Will they take the $5 and send her away? Or something else entirely? A single bruise on a child's arm can speak louder than 1,000 words. Hammer stays knelt in front of Emma, his massive frame casting a shadow over her small one. But his eyes, those battle-hardened eyes that have stared down enemies in war zones, are soft now, almost broken. He notices it immediately. A purple-yellow mark peeking out from under the sleeve of her oversized jacket when she reaches out again with the $5 bill. She quickly pulls her arm back, but it's too late. Every biker in the room saw it. The silence becomes heavier, thicker, like the air before a storm. These men know bruises. They've worn them, given them in fights, seen them on brothers coming back from bad nights. But on a 9-year-old girl who just begged strangers to save her dying mother, that changes everything. "Emma," Hammer says quietly, his voice low enough that only she can hear at first. "Did he do that to you?" She doesn't answer with words. She just looks down at the floor, her lower lip trembling. That's answer enough. Tank clenches his fist so hard the knuckles crack. Wrench turns away from the window, his jaw tight. Doc, the club's medic and former combat corpsman, steps closer, his face darkening as memories of treating abused kids in emergency rooms flash through his mind. Raven, the only woman in the charter, tough as nails with tribal tattoos, running up both arms and a scar across her eyebrow from a bar fight gone wrong, moves first. She walks over slowly, careful not to scare Emma, and crouches beside Hammer. "Hey, kiddo," Raven says softly, her voice like warm gravel. "You're safe here. Nobody's gonna hurt you in this room, I promise you that." Emma looks up at Raven, searching her face, and something in the older woman's steady gaze makes her relax just a fraction. A single tear rolls down her cheek. Hammer stands slowly, his movements deliberate. He turns to the room and gives a small nod. The message is clear. This just became personal. "Stay here with Raven," he tells Emma, his tone leaving no room for argument, but still gentle. "We're gonna have a little talk with your uncle." Emma's eyes widen in fear. "He'll get mad," she whispers. "When he gets mad, She stops herself, touching the bruise again without realizing it. The bikers see everything. They see the fear that goes deeper than just tonight. They see the way she flinches at the thought of him. They see a little girl who has been carrying terror in silence for far too long. Raven puts a gentle hand on Emma's shoulder. "He's not getting anywhere near you again, sweetheart. Not tonight, not ever." Outside, the black Mercedes still sits under the parking lot lights, engine humming softly. The man inside, Robert Chen, though they don't know his name yet, scrolls on his phone, smug, waiting for his lesson to end. He thinks he's teaching Emma about the cruelty of the world. He has no idea he's about to learn a very different lesson. Hammer looks at his brothers, 15 men. 15 sets of eyes burning with the same quiet rage. Men who have been judged their whole lives by their patches, their tattoos, their pasts. Men who know exactly what it feels like to be seen as monsters. Outside, Hammer says simply, now. 14 bikers rise as one, moving in practiced formation. Boots thud on the floor like approaching thunder. Leather vests creak. Chains jingle on belts. They file out the door in a line that would make any military unit proud. The night air is cool, carrying the scent of pine from the nearby woods and exhaust from the idling luxury car. The gravel crunches under their boots as they fan out, forming a perfect semicircle around the Mercedes, cutting off every possible escape. Only then does Robert look up from his phone. His smug expression falters for just a second as he realizes he's completely surrounded by men who look like they could snap him in half without breaking a sweat. But he recovers quickly, forcing a smile that doesn't reach his cold eyes. He steps out of the car slowly, adjusting his expensive suit, trying to look in control. "Gentlemen," he says smoothly, "I assume my niece made it inside safely." Hammer steps forward, towering over him. "Your niece," he says, voice flat and dangerous, "just offered us $5 to save her mother's life. Then she told us some real interesting things about you." Robert's smile tightens. Emma has quite an active imagination. Her mother's illness has been hard on her. She makes up stories. "I'm simply trying to help family in a difficult time by bringing a 9-year-old girl to a biker clubhouse at midnight." Tank growls, stepping closer, arms crossed like steel beams. "To teach her a lesson." Robert shrugs, still trying to play it cool. "To show her reality. Her mother is dying. Someone has to take custody. I'm the only family left. I've offered to pay for the treatment generously. But there are conditions. Emma needs to understand how the world works." "Conditions?" Wrench asks, his voice dripping with disgust. "That's a private family matter," Robert snaps, his mask starting to slip. "Now, I've been patient, but I'm taking Emma home. We have paperwork to sign at the hospital tomorrow." Hammer doesn't move, doesn't blink. "Emma's not going anywhere with you." Robert's eyes flash with anger and something darker, calculation. "You're interfering in a family matter. I could call the police right now, report that a motorcycle gang is holding my niece hostage." The bikers don't flinch. In fact, a few of them almost smile. "Go ahead," Hammer says calmly. "Call them. We'll wait." Robert pulls out his phone, fingers hovering over the screen. But before he can dial, the clubhouse door opens again. Doc steps out, phone in hand, his expression grim. "Just got off the phone with Dr. Martinez at St. Mary's," Doc announces loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Emma's mother, Rosa Rodriguez, has stage 4 cervical cancer. Been fighting 2 years, got worse fast after her husband died in a construction accident 3 months ago. The experimental treatment could save her, but it costs $50,000 and insurance won't cover it." Robert interrupts quickly. "Which I'm generously offering to pay if Emma comes to live with me. It's a fair trade." Doc steps closer, eyes locked on Robert. "Funny thing Dr. Martinez mentioned. Rosa has been refusing to sign any custody papers. She's terrified of you getting access to her daughter. So terrified, she'd rather die than let that happen." Robert's face flushes red with anger. "My sister is delusional from pain medication." "Or," Hammer says quietly, "she's thinking clearer than you'd like." The circle of bikers tightens just a fraction. Robert suddenly looks very small in his expensive suit, but he's not done yet. He straightens, trying one last time to take control. "You don't know anything about me," he snarls. Hammer pulls out his own phone and turns the screen toward Robert. "Don't I?" On the screen is a photo, an old mugshot, a police report, a different name, Isaiah Chen, and suddenly Robert Chen goes very, very pale. What secret from his past has Hammer just uncovered, and how far will these bikers go to protect Emma? Some secrets are buried so deep they need only one look from the right man to rise from the grave. Robert Chen stands frozen under the harsh parking lot lights, the color drained from his face as he stares at Hammer's phone screen. The old mugshot stares back at him. Younger eyes, a different name, Isaiah Chen. A name he thought he'd left behind forever when he changed it 5 years ago after fleeing Oregon. Hammer's voice cuts through the night air like a blade. Isaiah Chen, investigated for inappropriate conduct with a minor. No charges filed because the family took a settlement. Then you moved to California, changed your name, started over like nothing happened. The bikers don't move, but the circle feels tighter now, as if the very air is pressing in on Robert. Tank's fists are clenched so hard his knuckles are white. Wrench's eyes narrow, burning with quiet fury. Doc records every second on his phone, the red light blinking like an unblinking witness. Robert tries to recover, forcing a laugh that comes out shaky. "You're bluffing." You have no idea what you're talking about. Hammer doesn't blink. I was special forces, brother. I know how to find things, people, secrets, and I know exactly what kind of man you are. The words land like punches. Robert's hands begin to tremble. He looks around at the 14 men surrounding him, men who've survived wars, prisons, betrayals, and realizes for the first time that he is not in control, not even close. I'm calling the police right now, he says, voice cracking as he raises his phone again. No, Tank growls, stepping forward so close that Robert has to crane his neck to look up at him. You're not. Hammer's tone stays ice cold. You're going to get in your car, drive away, and never contact Emma or her mother again, permanently. You're going to disappear from their lives like the ghost you should have stayed. Robert tries one last, desperate play. And if I don't? Hammer's smile is small, dangerous. Then we make some calls of our own, to the family in Oregon who took your money to stay quiet, to the other 2 families I found, one in Washington, one in Nevada, all with daughters around Emma's age, all paid off, all still carrying what you did to them. Robert's breath comes in short gasps now. You're bluffing. Try me, Hammer says softly. Because if you don't leave right now, I'm calling Detective Sarah Morrison, Crimes Against Children Unit. She's Tank's sister. She's been working cold cases that match your pattern perfectly. She'd love to have a little chat with you. Robert's eyes dart from face to face, searching for weakness, for mercy, for any way out. He finds none. These aren't men who bluff. These are men who have nothing to lose and everything to protect. This is extortion, he spits, voice rising in panic. Wrench steps forward, voice calm but laced with steel. No, extortion is what you did to a dying woman, offering to save her life only if she hands her daughter over to a predator. What we're doing, that's called justice. The silence that follows is absolute. Even the crickets seem to stop. The only sound is Robert's ragged breathing and the distant hum of highway traffic. Hammer counts slowly. You have 10 seconds to get in your car. 9, 8. Robert's survival instinct finally overrides his ego. His hands fumble with the door handle. He slides into the driver's seat, keys shaking so badly he drops them once before starting the engine. The Mercedes roars to life, tires spitting gravel as he peels out of the parking lot, taillights disappearing into the darkness like a coward fleeing the light. The bikers stand there a moment longer, watching the empty road. He'll come back, Tank mutters. No, Hammer says with certainty. He won't. Doc, you get that recording? Doc nods, holding up his phone. Every word. His admission of conditional help, the threats, the name change, all of it. Crystal clear. Plus, my contacts in Oregon are already very interested in Mr. Chen. Hammer exhales slowly, the tension easing from his shoulders. Good. He turns back toward the clubhouse, the others falling in behind him like a silent honor guard. Inside, Emma sits at the bar on a high stool, legs swinging, sipping a Shirley Temple that Raven made for her, bright red with extra cherries. She looks tiny in the big room full of leather and chrome, but her eyes light up when she sees Hammer. Is my uncle gone? She asks, voice small but hopeful. He's gone, Hammer confirms, walking over and placing a large hand gently on her shoulder. And he's never coming back. Emma's shoulders sag with relief so profound it's almost visible. Tears spill over, but this time they're different. Tears of safety after carrying fear for far too long. Then her face crumples again. But my mom, the medicine, I only have $5. Hammer kneels beside her once more, looking her straight in the eyes. Emma, do you know what this club really does? She shakes her head. We protect people, he says simply. Women, children, people who can't protect themselves. That's our code. Your uncle brought you here thinking we'd laugh at you, take your money, prove the world is cruel. He pauses, voice softening even more. But he was wrong. The world can be cruel, but it can also be kind, full of people who give a damn. Tank is already on his phone. Calling brothers in other chapters. Let's see how fast we can raise money. Doc pulls out his laptop. I've got VA networks, medical fundraising contacts. We're doing this. Wrench opens another device. Setting up a crowdfunding page right now. Title, Iron Brotherhood Rescues Dying Mother. This is going viral by morning. Raven squeezes Emma's hand. You walked into the right place, sweetheart. We're going to save your mom. I promise you that. Over the next hours, the clubhouse transforms into a command center. Phones ring non-stop. Pledges pour in from biker chapters across the state. Veterans groups step up. The crowdfunding page explodes. By 3 a.m., they've hit $30,000. But $50,000 is a long way away, and time is running out for Rosa Rodriguez. Can a group of outlaw bikers really raise enough to save a stranger's life before it's too late? Sometimes the world answers a child's prayer in ways no one could ever predict. The Iron Brotherhood Clubhouse, usually a place of loud music, cold beer, and rough stories, has become something else entirely. It's now a buzzing war room lit by laptop screens and phone glows. Empty coffee mugs pile up on the bar. The jukebox is silent for the first time in years. Every member is working, calling, texting, sharing, donating. Emma sits on a worn leather couch in the corner, wrapped in a blanket Raven found for her. Her eyes are heavy with exhaustion, but she fights sleep, watching these big, scary-looking men turn into an army for her mom. Every time a new donation notification pings on Wrench's laptop, her face lights up with fragile hope. At 3 a.m., the crowdfunding page hits $30,000. The room erupts in quiet cheers, fists bumping, nods of approval. But it's not enough. They still need another $20,000, and fast. Rosa Rodriguez doesn't have weeks. Tank paces, phone glued to his ear. Yeah, brother, it's legit. Little girl walked in here alone tonight with $5 to save her dying mama. Uncle's a predator. We ran him off. Now we're raising the rest. You in? On the other end, presidents from chapters in Sacramento, Fresno, San Diego, even Nevada pledged thousands each. Veterans groups Doc called Start Matching Donations. A retired Marine colonel wires $5,000 on the spot after hearing the story. Wrench refreshes the page every few minutes, narrating the climb like a sports announcer. 32, 34, 38,000. Raven sits beside Emma, braiding her hair gently to keep her calm. These guys don't quit, kiddo. Once they decide to protect someone, they move mountains. Emma looks up at her. Why are you all doing this? You don't even know us. Raven smiles softly, the scar on her eyebrow catching the light. Because a long time ago, most of us were kids who needed protecting too, and nobody came. So now, we come. By 4:30 a.m., they're at $45,000, so close. The energy in the room is electric, tired eyes, but no one sits down. Hammer stands by the window, staring out at the dark parking lot where Robert's Mercedes fled hours ago, making sure no headlights return. Then, at 5:47 a.m., and as the first hint of dawn paints the sky purple, the crowdfunding page explodes again. A viral post from a famous biker influencer with over 1 million followers shares the link. This is what real brotherhood looks like. Little girl offers Hell's Angels chapter $5 to save her mom. They send Predator Uncle running and raise the money instead. Donate if you've got a heart. Within minutes, donations flood in. $10, $20, $100 at a time. Strangers from across the country. Truckers pulling over at rest stops to send money, nurses finishing night shifts, veterans waking up to the story. At 6:12 a.m., the total hits $50,000 exactly. The room goes still for a second. Then Hammer's deep voice breaks the silence. We did it. Cheers erupt. Real ones this time. Grown men with prison tattoos and war scars hug each other. Tank picks Emma up and spins her gently. She laughs through tears, a sound so pure it cuts straight through every hard heart in the room. But they don't stop there. By noon the next day, donations keep pouring in. The total climbs to $75,000, enough for the treatment, follow-up care, and 3 months of living expenses so Rosa and Emma won't have to worry about rent or bills while she recovers. Hammer looks at his watch. Time to go. He scoops up Emma, blanket and all, and carries her to his big black Ford pickup. Raven and Doc fire up their Harleys to escort. The rest of the chapter stays behind to handle bank transfers and make sure everything is airtight. The drive to St. Mary's Hospital takes 40 minutes. The early morning sun glints off chrome as the truck and 2 bikes roll into the parking lot like a small convoy. Emma presses her face to the window, clutching that same crumpled $5 bill she never let go of. Dr. Martinez meets them in the hallway outside room 304. He's cautious, professional, eyeing the leather vests and tattoos. "You're the bikers Emma called about?" "We are," Hammer says, shaking his hand firmly. "We've got the full $50,000 ready to transfer today. How soon can you start the treatment?" The doctor stares for a long moment, taking in the unlikely group. A giant scarred president, a tough female rider, a former corpsman, and a wide-eyed little girl. "I need to be honest," Dr. Martinez says gently. "Even with the drug, Rosa's chances are maybe 40%. The cancer is very advanced. It might not work." Emma's face falls. Raven kneels beside her. "But there's a chance, right, Doc?" He nods slowly. "There's a chance." "Then we take it," Hammer says without hesitation. "Whatever paperwork you need, we sign. Whatever guarantees the hospital wants, we give." The next 2 hours are a whirlwind of forms, calls to lawyers, wire transfers. Emma sits by her mother's bed the whole time, holding Rosa's thin hand. Rosa is barely conscious, sunken cheeks, skin pale from pain meds and sickness. Machines beep softly, but when Emma whispers, "Mama, it's going to be okay. The bikers are helping us. They sent Uncle Robert away and raised all the money." Rosa's eyes flutter open. "Bikers?" she rasps, confused. "They're good people, Mama," Emma says, voice strong with belief. "They're saving you." A single tear slides down Rosa's cheek as she looks past her daughter to the doorway, where Hammer stands quietly, arms crossed, filling the frame like a guardian. "Thank you," she whispers. Hammer just nods once. "You focus on getting better, ma'am. We'll take care of the rest." The treatment starts that very afternoon, but now new problems arise. Emma can't stay alone at the hospital. Child Services is asking questions about guardianship now that Robert is gone, and the road to recovery, if there is one, will be long and uncertain. Who will take care of Emma while her mother fights for her life? True family isn't always born from blood. It's forged in the moments when someone chooses to stand between you and the darkness. The hospital hallway smells of antiseptic and stale coffee. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead as Child Services paperwork looms like a new threat. Rosa is finally starting the experimental treatment, hooked to IVs that drip hope into her veins, but she's too weak to care for Emma. With Robert gone and no other relatives, the system is circling. Foster care strangers, group homes, uncertainty. Emma sits on a plastic chair outside room 304, knees pulled to her chest, clutching her old jacket. She's exhausted, dark circles under her eyes, but she refuses to leave the hospital. Hammer stands nearby like a sentinel, arms crossed, watching social workers come and go with clipped conversations. Raven watches it all from a few steps away, her tribal tattoos peeking from under her leather vest, the scar across her eyebrow catching the light every time she turns her head. She's been quiet most of the morning, but now she steps forward. "I'll take her." The words drop into the hallway like a thunderclap. Everyone turns. Hammer raises an eyebrow. Doc pauses mid-phone call. Even the social worker stops writing. Raven repeats it, firmer this time. "I'm a certified foster parent. I finished the classes 2 years ago when I was thinking about retiring from long rides to focus on my social work practice. I've got a spare room. It's small, painted blue, empty shelf space. Emma can stay with me until Rosa recovers. Emma looks up slowly, eyes wide. This tough woman who sat with her through the night, made her a Shirley Temple, braided her hair, now offering her a home. You want me to live with you? Emma asks, voice barely above a whisper. Raven crouches to her level, a small smile softening her usually hard features. If you're okay with it, yeah. I make pretty decent pancakes, and I've got a garden out back. Tomatoes are coming in good this year. You can help if you want, or not. Whatever you need. Emma stares for a long moment, then nods slowly. Okay. Just like that, a new chapter begins. The first night at Raven's house is quiet. It's a modest ranch-style home on the edge of town, surrounded by oak trees and a white picket fence that seems almost comical against Raven's Harley parked in the driveway. Inside, it smells of coffee and lavender. The spare room has fresh sheets, a new teddy bear on the bed that Raven just happened to have lying around. Emma lies awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to unfamiliar sounds. Crickets outside, the hum of the refrigerator. Nightmares come fast. Uncle Robert's cold smile, her mum's pale face, the fear that it's all temporary. She wakes up screaming at 2 a.m. Raven is there in seconds, sitting on the edge of the bed, not touching, just present. You're safe, kiddo. He's gone. You're here. Breathe with me. She teaches Emma a breathing trick she learned in therapy years ago. 4 counts in, 4 hold, 4 out. It works. Slowly. The next morning, Hammer assigns 2 club members to rotate quiet shifts parked down the street, just in case Robert circles back. But the street stays empty. Word from Doc's contacts. Robert's lawyer sent a message. He's relocated to Nevada and won't return to California. Week 1 is hard. Emma flinches at loud noises. She checks the locks 3 times before bed. She calls the hospital every 2 hours for updates. Week 2 brings the first good news. Rosa's scans show slight improvement. Tumor markers are dropping. Dr. Martinez uses the word responding for the first time. He's cautiously optimistic. Emma smiles, a real one, for the first time since walking into the clubhouse. She starts helping Raven in the garden, pulling weeds, watering tomatoes. Raven teaches her how to check the oil on the Harley, lets her sit on it in the driveway, engine off, and pretend to rev the throttle. Small steps toward feeling normal. Week 3. Emma starts at a new school. Raven drives her on the first day, leather vest and all. The other parents stare, but the kids think it's cool. No one knows her story yet, and that's a relief. Week 4. Rosa is strong enough to sit up in bed unaided. Her cheeks have a hint of color. Her eyes are clearer. She FaceTimes Emma every night now, voice stronger each time. The treatment is working, Mija, she says one evening, tears shining. Because of you. Because of them. Emma glances at Raven off camera and whispers, because of all of us. 2 months after that terrifying night, the day finally arrives. Rosa Rodriguez, weak but walking with a nurse's arm for support, steps out of St. Mary's Hospital into bright sunlight. Cancer-free. The doctors call it a miracle. The Iron Brotherhood calls it justice. Waiting in the parking lot is Hammer's truck, Raven's Harley, Doc's bike, and Emma running full speed into her mother's arms. The reunion is quiet tears, tight hugs, whispered thank yous that don't need words. But the celebration is just beginning. The club has planned something special back at the clubhouse. What waits for Rosa and Emma there? And what will the bikers reveal about their own hidden scars? The toughest hearts often hide the deepest wounds, and sometimes it takes a little girl to open them. The Iron Brotherhood clubhouse has never looked like this before. String lights hang across the ceiling, casting a warm golden glow over the usually dim room. Tables are pushed together into one long banquet. The smell of barbecue, ribs, brisket, chicken fills the air, mixed with fresh flowers that Raven insisted on bringing in. Classic rock plays low on the jukebox. Not too loud, because today is about celebration, not intimidation. 15 bikers in their cuts stand in a loose semicircle near the bar, trying and failing to look casual. They've cleaned up, boots polished, beards trimmed, some even wearing new shirts. They shift weight from foot to foot, nervous in a way no bar fight or police raid has ever made them. Because today, Rosa and Emma are coming to the clubhouse for the first time since everything changed. Hammer stands at the door, watching the gravel parking lot. When his black truck finally pulls in, Rosa in the passenger seat, Emma bouncing with excitement beside her. The whole club straightens up. Emma jumps out first, helping her mum down slowly. Rosa is still thin, hair just starting to grow back in soft curls, but she's walking on her own. Her smile is radiant, eyes bright with life that almost wasn't hers. The bikers part like an honor guard as mother and daughter walk through the door. The room goes quiet. Rosa stops in the center, looking around at these men. Tattooed, scarred, patched members of a notorious club, and her voice trembles when she speaks. You saved my life. You saved my daughter. You did it for $5 that you never even took. I don't know how to thank you. I don't know how to ever repay you. Hammer steps forward, voice steady but thick. You don't repay us, Mom. You live. You raise your daughter strong. You show her that even when the world feels dark, there are still people who give a damn. That's all we ask. Rosa's eyes fill with tears. She pulls Emma close. I still don't understand. Why? You didn't know us. We were strangers. Tank clears his throat and steps forward, his massive frame suddenly looking vulnerable. My little girl was about Emma's age, he begins, voice rough like gravel. When my ex-wife's boyfriend started hurting her, I was inside. Prison. Couldn't protect her. Couldn't do a damn thing. Nobody noticed. Nobody helped. By the time I got out, the damage was done. I swore if I ever had the chance to stop it happening to another kid, I would, no matter what. He looks at Emma, eyes shining. Tonight, I kept that promise. Wrench speaks next, usually quiet, now finding words. My mom died of cancer when I was 10. We didn't have insurance. Couldn't afford the drugs that might have saved her. I watched her fade away, helpless. Felt like the world didn't care. No kid should ever feel that powerless, not if I can help it. One by one, they share. Doc talks about growing up in foster care, bounced from home to home, never safe. Raven tells of running away at 14 from a father who hit too hard. Even Hammer opens up about losing his little sister years ago to a man the system failed to stop. Every single one of them had once been a child in need. Every single one had been failed by the people who were supposed to protect them. And every single one made the same choice, to become the protection they never had. So we help, Hammer says, finishing the circle, because nobody helped us. Because we know what it's like to be small and scared and have nowhere to turn. Because that's what brothers do. We protect our own. Rosa wipes tears away. But we're not your own. Raven steps forward, wrapping a strong arm around Emma's shoulders. Yes, you are, she says firmly. You became our own the second this brave little girl walked through that door with nothing but courage and $5. Emma reaches into her pocket and pulls out the same crumpled bill, the one she offered that night. I still want you to have it, she says, holding it out to Hammer. He takes it gently, like it's made of glass. You know what we're going to do with this? He asks. She shakes her head. Hammer turns to the wall above the bar where a small wooden frame already waits. We're going to frame it right here. And every brother who walks in, every prospect, every visitor, they'll see it and hear your story. How a 9-year-old girl taught 15 hardened bikers what real courage looks like. The bill is placed in the frame that night, nailed up high, sacred. But the story doesn't end with celebration, because word has already started spreading, and someone new is about to walk through that same door, carrying their own pain. Who is coming next? And what new mission will the Iron Brotherhood take on? Some symbols are small in size, but they carry the weight of changed lives forever. The framed $5 bill hangs proudly above the bar in the Iron Brotherhood clubhouse, under a soft spotlight that makes it glow like a relic. It's faded now, edges worn from being clutched in a terrified child's hand, but to every member who passes beneath it, it's sacred. New prospects are brought to stand in front of it during initiation. They hear the full story, how one brave little girl turned a room full of feared bikers into protectors. Word of Emma's courage spread fast in the biker world. Chapters from across the country sent riders just to see the bill, to shake Hammer's hand, to hear the tale firsthand. It became legend, but legends aren't just stories, they become missions. 3 months after Rosa walked out of the hospital cancer-free, the clubhouse door opens again on a quiet evening. A young woman steps inside hesitantly, maybe 25, with a black eye swelling shut and a split lip still bleeding. In her arms, she holds a tiny boy, no more than 3 years old, clinging to her neck, his face buried in her hair. The room quiets the same way it did that first night. She looks around at the leather vests, the tattoos, the rough faces, and freezes. But then her eyes land on the framed $5 bill on the wall. She reads the small plaque beneath it. For Emma Rodriguez, the bravest girl we ever met. Courage has no price. Her shoulders shake as she starts to cry. I heard you help people, she says softly, voice breaking. I heard about Emma. I need help. My boyfriend, I have to get away. For my son. Hammer is already moving. Say no more. Raven stands, walking over with gentle purpose. Come sit, honey. Let me get you and the little man something to drink. You're safe now. Tank pulls out his phone. Finding a safe house tonight, one with good locks and neighbors who mind their business. Doc kneels in front of the boy, making a funny face until the child peeks out and gives a shy smile. I don't have money, the woman whispers, tears streaming. I can't pay you anything. Hammer points up at the framed bill. See that? That's the price we ask. Courage. You just paid it in full by walking through that door. If this story is hitting you right in the heart, the way these bikers stepped up when the world failed, the way they chose kindness over judgment, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Road Motorcycle Diaries, and turn on notifications. We bring you real stories of the road, brotherhood, and humanity that restore your faith. And drop a comment. Would you have opened your home like Raven did? Would you have helped a stranger like these bikers did? Over the next year, the Iron Brotherhood helped 12 more families. Mothers fleeing abuse with kids in tow. Teens running from traffickers. Families threatened by gangs. The clubhouse became more than a bar. It became a sanctuary. The bikers' reputation for toughness turned into a shield. Nobody dared touch anyone under their protection. Rosa started a cancer survivor support group that met every Thursday night right there in the clubhouse. The smell of coffee replaced beer on those evenings. Survivors shared stories of fear, fight, and victory, while bikers stood guard at the door, brewed pots of coffee, and listened without judgment. Emma grew. She earned a full scholarship to college, studied social work, just like Raven, and came back to run programs at the local women's shelter. She never forgot where her second chance began. Rosa healed fully, body and spirit. She planted a garden with Raven every spring, tomatoes and roses side by side, and every new member who patched into the Iron Brotherhood had to stand before that $5 bill and hear Emma's story. They learned why the club existed beyond the rides and the parties. They learned that strength isn't just for fighting, it's for protecting. Years passed. Robert Chen vanished completely. Nevada, then Arizona, then off the map. Detective Morrison quietly built a case linking him to old crimes across 3 states. No one ever missed him. But the good that came from driving him away, that multiplied. If you're loving how one act of bravery created a ripple effect of kindness across years, Smash that subscribe button on Road Motorcycle Diaries right now. Like this video, comment below. Would you have done what Hammer and his brothers did that night? And share this story with someone who needs to remember there's still good in the world. Because the final chapter, the one where Emma graduates and the whole club shows up, is coming next, and you won't want to miss it. The loudest applause in the auditorium didn't come from the families in suits. It came from 15 bikers in leather who stood and roared like thunder. Years have passed since that fateful night, but time has only deepened the bonds forged in the clubhouse. Emma Rodriguez, once the scared 9-year-old clutching a $5 bill, is now 22, walking across a college stage in a black cap and gown, tassels swinging as she accepts her diploma in social work with highest honors. The auditorium is packed with proud parents, professors, friends. Applause ripples politely through the rows. Then her name is called Emma Maria Rodriguez. And from the very back row, 15 figures in leather vests stand up as one. Hammer, Tank, Wrench, Doc, Raven, all of them, grey in their beards now, but still massive, still proud, erupt in cheers. Whistles pierce the air. Deep voices shout, "That's our girl, and we knew you could do it." The rest of the audience turns, startled at first, then smiling as they realize what's happening. Phones come out to record the moment. The polite clapping turns into a standing ovation as people understand. This isn't just a graduation. This is a victory years in the making. Rosa sits in the front row, tears streaming down her face, healthier and stronger than ever, holding a bouquet of roses from Raven's garden. She cries not just for the degree, but for the life her daughter was given a second chance at. After the ceremony, in the parking lot under a bright California sun, Emma finds Hammer leaning against his Harley, arms crossed, eyes suspiciously shiny. She runs to him and throws her arms around his waist. He's still a giant to her. "Thank you," she says, voice muffled against his vest, "for saving my mom, for protecting me, for showing me that family isn't always blood." Hammer's massive hand rests gently on her back. His voice is gruff, but it cracks just a little. "You reminded us why we do this, kid. Why we wear these patches. Why we chose to be more than what the world expected of us. You didn't just save your mom that night, you saved all of us too." One by one, the brothers come over. Tank hugs her so gently, it's almost funny for a man his size. "Proud of you, little sister." Wrench hands her a small wrapped gift, a custom leather journal with her initials embossed. "For all the lives you're gonna change now." Doc gives her a stethoscope charm for her keychain. "Because you heal people in a different way now." Raven, the woman who became her second mother, holds her longest. "You made that spare room yours forever. You know that. Pancakes every Sunday if you want them." Rosa joins the circle, hugging each biker in turn. Some of them look away, clearing throats, wiping eyes with the backs of tattooed hands. The club insisted on throwing a graduation party back at the clubhouse that evening. Not the wild kind, the family kind. Barbecue, music turned low, kids from the shelter running around the yard. Survivors from the Thursday support group bring cakes and stories. Emma stands on a chair at one point and raises a glass of sparkling cider. "I learned from the bravest people I know," she says, looking at the circle of leather-clad guardians. "That real strength isn't in how tough you look, it's in what you choose to protect. You taught me that, and now I get to pass it on." The framed $5 bill still hangs in its place of honor above the bar, now surrounded by photos. Emma's first day at Raven's house, Rosa walking out of the hospital, the 12 families helped in the years after, and now a new one, Emma in her cap and gown, surrounded by her unlikely family. Hammer catches her looking at it. "Keep the $5 on the wall," Emma says quietly to him. "Always." He nods. "Always." But even as the celebration continues, Emma knows this isn't the end. Because every day, somewhere, another child is scared. Another mother is fighting, another person needs protectors, and the Iron Brotherhood, and now Emma herself, are ready. Even faded paper can carry a light bright enough to guide lost souls home. The 5 bill on the wall has changed over the years. The once crisp green has softened to a pale, almost ghostly grey. The creases are deep and permanent from being clutched in Emma's small, terrified hand that night. Sunlight from the clubhouse windows has bleached it further, but no one dares move it from its frame. It's not just money anymore. It's a covenant. Every new member who earns their patch stands before it on initiation night. Hammer, now with more silver in his beard than black, tells the story the same way every time. The silence when the door opened, the tiny girl walking into a den of wolves, the bruise on her arm, the uncle in the Mercedes, the recording, the money raised at dawn, the miracle recovery. Then he ends with the same line: "This club exists to make sure no child ever has to do what Emma did alone again." The prospects listen in silence, eyes fixed on the bill. Some of them, hard men with their own dark pasts, have to look away when he describes Emma holding out her last $5 to save her dying mother. The bill has become more than a reminder. It's a standard. Every rescue mission begins with someone pointing to it and saying, "Remember why we do this." Every time a frightened woman or child walks through the door, a member will quietly lead them to stand beneath it and hear the story. It gives them hope, proof that this place, these people, are different than the world told them. Rosa's Thursday support group has grown so large they had to expand into the back garage on warm nights. Cancer survivors, families, friends, dozens of people sitting in folding chairs while bikers in cuts serve coffee and sandwiches. They don't talk much during the meetings, these big men. They just listen. And when someone breaks down telling their story, there's always a steady hand on a shoulder. A quiet, "You're not alone anymore." Emma, now working full-time at the women's shelter, brings new families to the clubhouse sometimes. She introduces them to Hammer, to Raven, to the Wall. "This is where it started," she tells them. "This is where people chose to be good when they didn't have to be." One evening, a teenage boy, fresh out of juvie, angry at the world, stands in front of the frame longer than most. His own mother is in Rosa's group tonight. He reads the plaque, touches the glass gently. Hammer watches from across the room. Later, that boy prospects for the club. 3 years after that, he earns his patch. And on his initiation night, when it's his turn to speak, he says only this: "I used to think the world was nothing but people who hurt you or let you get hurt. Then I heard about a little girl with $5 and a room full of bikers who proved me wrong." He looks up at the bill. "I'm here to help make sure no kid ever has to be that brave alone again." The room is silent for a long moment. Then Hammer claps him on the back, approval deeper than words. Outside, the Harleys are still lined up in perfect rows, gleaming under the security lights. The club still rides hard, still commands respect on the streets. To the world, there's still the Iron Brotherhood, dangerous, not to be crossed, but inside these walls they are something more: protectors, guardians, family. And it all began with one small act of courage that refused to accept the cruelty of the world as final. But even legends have quiet moments, moments when the people behind them reflect on what it all means now. What does Hammer see when he looks at that faded bill today? In the silence of the clubhouse, after everyone else has gone home, the real truth of the story lives. It's late, well past midnight. The Iron Brotherhood clubhouse is empty except for one man. The string lights are off, the jukebox silent, the parking lot outside dark except for a single security lamp glowing over the rows of Harleys. Hammer sits at the bar on an old stool that creaks under his weight, a glass of water in front of him. He stopped drinking years ago after too many nights trying to forget war. He stares up at the wall, at the framed $5 bill that started it all. To the world, He's still the intimidating president, 6'5", scarred face, voice like gravel, the man who can make problems disappear with a phone call. But here, alone, he's just a man who remembers being powerless once. He thinks about that night. The door opening, the tiny girl walking in, the way the whole room froze. He remembers the exact moment something inside him shifted forever, when Emma held out that crumpled bill and asked strangers to save her mother's life. He had seen children in war zones, hurt, terrified, lost. He had carried the guilt of not being able to save all of them. Prison had taught him how cruel people can be when no one is watching. But this was different. A child choosing to believe that even the scariest-looking men might have goodness in them. She didn't see monsters. She saw hope, and because of that, she changed everything. Hammer reaches up and touches the glass over the frame gently, like it might break. He thinks about all the lives that came after, the young mother with the black eye and the little boy, the teenager sold by her own family, the veteran's widow about to lose her home, the dozens of people who walked through that door, carrying pain too heavy for one person. Every time, the club answered. Every time, they protected. Every time, they proved Emma right. He thinks about Tank, whose daughter still doesn't speak to him, but who now saves other fathers from that same regret. About Wrench, who sends anonymous money every year to cancer research in his mother's name. About Raven, who turned her spare room into a sanctuary and her life into a mission. About Doc, who finally sleeps at night knowing he's healing more than he's hurting. About Emma, grown now, changing the world one sheltered family at a time. Hammer's eyes mist over just for a moment. He whispers to the empty room, to the faded bill, to the little girl who isn't there, but is always there. You taught us what courage really is, kid. Not the absence of fear, but walking straight into it because someone you love needs you to. He stands slowly, turns off the last light and locks the door behind him. Outside, the night air is cool. His Harley waits patiently. He swings a leg over, starts the engine, deep rumble echoing through the quiet streets, and rides home under a sky full of stars. Because tomorrow, someone else might need protecting, and the Iron Brotherhood will be ready. Because one little girl with $5 proved that the hardest men can carry the softest hearts. And that sometimes the people the world fears most are the ones who save you. Some stories don't end, they just keep growing, touching more lives, proving that goodness is contagious. The Iron Brotherhood Clubhouse still stands strong on the edge of town, the same gravel parking lot, the same rows of gleaming Harleys, the same faded sign above the door, but inside, it's warmer now. Photos line the walls alongside the patches and trophies. Families reunited, kids smiling at Christmas parties the club throws every year. Survivors holding up signs that say, cancer-free. The $5 bill remains in its frame, now surrounded by a collage. There's a picture of Rosa and Emma cutting the ribbon at the new wing of the women's shelter, funded partly by club rides. Another of Tank teaching self-defense classes to teens. Raven leading a group therapy session in the back room. Wrench fixing a single mom's car for free in the garage. Every year on the anniversary of that night, the club closes to outsiders. It's family only. They gather around long tables. The brothers, their old ladies, the kids they've helped, who are now adults, with families of their own. Rosa brings homemade tamales. Emma brings dessert. Someone fires up the barbecue. The jukebox plays old rock ballads instead of hard metal. They go around the circle, each person sharing one thing they're grateful for from the past year. Tank talks about the letter he finally got from his daughter, forgiveness after 20 years. Wrench shares how a donation in his mother's name funded a clinical trial that's saving lives. Doc tells of a veteran he pulled back from the edge. Raven smiles as she talks about the 3 kids she's officially fostered now, her house always full. When it's Emma's turn, she stands, older now, confident, eyes shining. I'm grateful, she says, that a scared little girl once believed the world still had good men in it, and that those men proved her right every single day since. Hammer is last, as always. He doesn't say much. He just looks around the room, at the faces that have become his real family, at the lives that wouldn't be here without that one night, and raises his glass. To courage, he says simply. To courage, everyone echoes. Later, when the kids are asleep on couches and the fire pit outside crackles low, the original 15 gather one more time under the framed bill. They don't need to speak. They just stand there, shoulder to shoulder, remembering the silence when the door opened, the fear in a child's eyes, the choice they made, and how one small act of bravery created a legacy that keeps growing. Because every person they've helped since has gone on to help others. Every child they've protected has grown up believing the world can be kind. Every survivor has turned their pain into purpose. The circle never breaks, it only widens. And somewhere out there tonight, another child is scared. Another mother is fighting. Another person is losing hope. But because of a 9-year-old girl who refused to accept cruelty as the final answer, there are protectors ready. There are hearts that still give a damn. There is still good in the world. And that is the truest miracle of all. We always come full circle, back to the moment when one small act of bravery proved that the world can still be saved, one heart at a time. Let's go back to that dark night. The Iron Brotherhood clubhouse is thick with smoke and the low rumble of men who have lived hard lives. Pool balls clack, bottles clink. Laughter cuts through the rock song playing on the jukebox. Then the door creaks open and everything stops. A 9-year-old girl named Emma Rodriguez steps inside, small sneakers on worn wood, clutching a crumpled $5 bill like it's the most precious thing in the world. Because to her, it is. It's every penny she has. It's weeks of saved lunch money. It's her last hope. She looks up at 15 of the most intimidating men you could ever imagine. Tattooed, scarred, patched members of a notorious motorcycle club, and says the words that will change everything forever. Will you save my mother's life? For 5? The room is dead silent. Hammer sets down his cards. Tank freezes mid-sip. Wrench's pool cue hangs in the air. And in that silence, something beautiful happens. 15 men who the world judged by their appearance, by their pasts, by their patches, choose in that single moment to be the good that a terrified little girl dared to believe still existed. They don't take her money. They send the predator away. They raise $75,000 in hours. They guard her. They heal her mother. They open their home. They become her family. And because of that choice, because they refused to let the world be as cruel as her uncle wanted her to believe, lives were saved, hearts were restored, and a legacy of protection was born. That faded $5 bill still hangs on the wall today, almost colorless now. But every person who stands beneath it, every frightened mother, every lost child, every new brother earning his patch, feels its power. It whispers the same truth Emma proved that night. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's walking straight into the darkness because someone you love needs the light. Goodness isn't weakness. It's the strongest force on earth. And the people the world fears the most are sometimes the ones with the softest hearts, ready to protect the innocent when no one else will. Emma grew up knowing that. Rosa lived because of it. Dozens, no, hundreds of others found safety because one club chose kindness over indifference. And you, watching this story, you now carry that same $5 reminder in your heart that no act of courage is too small, that no person is beyond redemption, that judgment by appearance misses the deepest truth, and that sometimes all it takes is one person refusing to accept cruelty as the end of the story. So the next time you see a biker in leather roaring down the highway, the next time you pass a clubhouse with Harleys lined up outside, the next time you feel the world is too dark, Remember Emma. Remember the silence when she walked in. Remember the men who stood up. Remember the $5 they never took. And remember, there are still protectors out there. There are still people who give a damn. There is still hope. Because a little girl once believed it, and 15 hardened bikers spent the rest of their lives proving her right. If this story moved you, if it restored even a little of your faith in humanity, do two things right now. First, hit that like button and share this series with someone who needs to hear it. Second, subscribe to Road Motorcycle Diaries, turn on notifications, and join our family. We tell real stories of the road, of brotherhood, of unexpected heroes, stories that remind us why we ride, why we fight, and why we never stop believing in the good. And in the comments, tell me, would you have opened that door for Emma? Would you have been the protector she needed? Because the truth is, we all have that choice every single day. Thank you for riding through this story with us. Keep the shiny side up and keep the $5 in your heart, always.